right, let's start July 23rd, 2018 Parks and Recreation meeting. Let's start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll take roll call. Chair Bennett. Here. Vice Chair Windley appears to be absent. Commissioner Avila. Here. Commissioner Traxler.
Here.
Commissioner Plamondon.
Here.
Move on to approval of agenda as is.
Move to approve the agenda as is.
I second.
Approve agenda as is. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Public comment at this time?
Good evening, everyone. Lori Lord, I'm sorry, somewhere in Castle Bluffs. I just would like to mention something. I have already spoken to Councilor Epperson about this. I was real concerned a couple weeks ago when I've been to the dog park. This is about the dog park. Let me start about that. Drove by there about 2 weeks ago, and the trash cans finally, I guess, got blown up, but somebody pulled them down. I think, John, you're kind of aware of what I'm talking about. And then hopefully somebody dumped them from there. There's lots of weeds growing up there. That's no big deal. Somebody opined on next door I own, the dog park's a joke. So I said, well, I'm the head joker, and kind of explained how it came about. But I guess what I really want to point out, and I'll just bring it to Planning or Parks and Rec Commission, just so you're aware, because you can't be everywhere at once. When we went into the whole thing with IBCA, meaning the community, spent $24,000 to make that little old dog park, that little joke of a dog park. We did that so people with big dogs mostly could go in the gate, let the dog loose, right? And then it goes up and does its thing. Isn't that kind of the whole point? It gets to go do its own thing. And we figured, because it's kind of wild, and remember that the dog, the people, the old country pet people, pretty expert about things, are the ones who designed it originally. We just changed the fence line a little bit. But anyway, they, made some complaints about things. I think it all got addressed. He was a pretty nice guy. My only concern is that it has oversight where every week the trash cans are getting emptied. Every week the dog refuse is getting emptied, and this and that. And I thought that was the agreement when IBCA said, we'll fund it, but we don't have the wherewithal to do it. And I was told that city does, because city has to go do the other dog things. So I'm just pointing out that, it's just something we need to kind of keep after. It's nothing worse than dog poop, filled to the brim of a can. And I've gone and emptied it before. It can get pretty heavy. So this is just, again, my plea to, keep the public-private partnership going as far as that goes. If it's hard, because I know you have a small staff, then we just need to figure out how to get it done. And if that, I have some ideas, but I'm not ready to go there quite yet. So it was just kind of to let you know that.
Usually we try to pick up every couple days, especially Monday after a weekend and before Friday before.
Well, I'm sure that there's best intentions, and
right.
It probably does go kind of really good, and then it's.
And then things
But
go.
when the people at the dog park have to bring the trash cans outside the fence so that they will get, and just to remind you, I put a lock up at the top with a bigger gate, specifically to make it easy for city to deal with that kind of stuff. So we tried to plan, John, just to make it easy to deal with. The IBCA itself doesn't have the wherewithal to be able to go and do these things when city, like I said, Todd told me right off that he should be able to do that, no problem. And IBCA has given bags to the city to keep the doggy poop bags there. If we need to help out with that, we can do that. So just need to get the partnership.
We've purchased a bunch of those bags too, if I remember correctly.
Just, I think last week. Okay, because I was there 2 weeks ago and there weren't any again. And I know people really are trying to pick up their waste. And I carry my own bags with me. I got a giant dog. Those little things don't work.
Well, I did make a plea on Nextdoor, when you use it, the
Yeah.
one guy was saying, I can't turn my back on my dog because it's over there. Well, that's the point of the fence, is you can turn your back and go let the dog do its thing, right?
Yeah.
It's not gonna get out. But I said, and then I came back and said, amended, please keep an eye on your dog the first 5 minutes, because that's when they poop. So,
Yeah.
anyway, so just bringing it kind of up to speed on the dog
Right,
park.
Lauren.
Could it possible to put this on the agenda for next meeting? I have some ideas about the dog park
Okay, we can add that for.
for next meeting.
Mhm.
I've visited quite a few in the past 3 weeks.
Okay. We'll add that next. Thank you, Lori. Any other public comment? No? Okay. Moving on, arena management update.
Yes, Commission, just kind of give you a update. We did make send an email to Daniela related to her proposal. Some of you weren't on the committee when the interview went forward. However, as Danielle had a number of items that, from my standpoint, were problematic in terms of her proposal, and I asked if she'd be willing to change the proposal, especially with the housing, on-site housing. That'd be a big issue for me. I haven't heard back, but in the meantime, I had a conversation with Allison LaFane, who is the other interviewee, and she would like to have the committee reconsider her proposal, and I'll let her come up and explain some of the issues.
You're good.
Okay, I want to avoid HIPAA and all that other stuff, so.
No, you're fine.
Okay.
No, I did come and ask
Is
John.
this her?
Yeah.
Uh,
Go ahead.
I was quite aware that my interview fell short. What I did not disclose was I had a death in the family 2 days prior. I should have called and canceled. So, I'm not making excuses, but I should have called and canceled. I was just in no shape to focus on the questions. I tried as hard as I could, but it just was not sinking in. But in the meantime, I've been here. I've been living here. I moved in late April. I've spent almost 2 days a week, 2 to 3 days a week down at the arena, putting on events, getting to know the arena, getting to know the personnel, actually enjoying myself, surprisingly, out in the heat and the dirt and sweating and washing off tractors and things like that. But in that time, I've gotten to see really what it's going to take to bring that arena up to par. I've gone around to the businesses, talked to them about having them bring food down for our events. We had an event scheduled tomorrow night, but with the heat, I'm going to cancel it. But Paisano's Pizza was going to deliver food. So we're slowly bringing the community into each event that we have every week. From a marketing standpoint, I have reached out to Senior Pro Rodeo, the Women's Pro Rodeo, the California Trail Obstacle Division. They put on a lot of events. All of them are interested in coming in. Senior Pro Rodeo would like 2 dates next year, which would be huge. So I've done some feelers out there. I've done some things around the arena to help with the manure situation. I purchased wheelbarrows. They're all around the arena. Last Wednesday, I was pleasantly surprised when I looked out from the crow's nest and I saw people pulling those carts behind them, cleaning up around their trailers. And the feedback I got from them was they were proud to be part of cleaning it up. So I'm just finding tools that I can make people a part of it, and then they feel proud of the arena, and it's working, and I'm quite pleased with it. But I did threaten them with a $5 arena fee if they didn't. And
And this is related to the events that
these
you're
are the events that
sponsoring.
I'm putting on. I
Right.
formed a horse association. A small part of it is barrel racing. I don't plan on just doing barrel racing. But that was the quickest way to bring people in with my experience. And each event, we've tripled our entries. The spectators are growing, which is why I reached out to Paisanos, because they want food. And I would rather use somebody in town than a vendor truck from outside the county. And I've installed laser lights in the arena ceiling for the gymkhana they can use as well. It marks the barrels so there's nobody pounding on the ground, and it saves time. I've purchased a nice big fancy groomer, which everybody seems real thrilled with. And but you know, I've also had a chance to look at the barn. So I've changed my outlook on the barn from my original proposal. Spent some time back there with the rattlesnakes, and I would have to really rethink that on using that barn now. And I know that you have shut it down because it's unsafe. So I would say that it would take me probably 6 months to raise enough money to rebuild the barn. Whereas before I thought it would be quicker. And I just wanted to come back and say, you know, when I came here before, my heart really wasn't in it. And I had doubts. I deliberated over doing this. I took 8 months because it's a huge undertaking. It's not just playing house with your horses in an arena. It's physically demanding. You have to answer to all disciplines. You have to answer to all groups and maintain the arena of whatever is going to pop up that day. So I took 8 months to think about it before I made the decision to submit a proposal. But I'm down there. I'm having a good time. I like it. I've met all the employees. One of your employees is actually going to be my tractor driver, which I'm thrilled with, because the water truck is killing me. But I just wanted an opportunity to come back and really tell you that my heart is in it, and my heart is in it to benefit the city of Ione, since I now live within the city. It's not just for me. It is, I want to put a new face on that arena, and I want to turn it around, and I've done it before. I took Sacramento Horsemen's from an arena that was, nobody was in it, nobody was using it. It was owned by the city. And I went in, and I was there for 5 years, and their weekends were booked repeatedly. They were able to put in new panels, they were able to upgrade their barn and put arena lights in. So it's not something that I've not done before. I've gone into arenas that are stagnant and been able to turn them around. So I would just like you to reconsider my proposal and my efforts and my drive to help and bring that arena back around.
I want to thank
Any
you, Allison,
questions?
for coming back and
Okay.
presenting. I appreciate your honesty. How much do you think it would actually take to get that arena up and running?
Well, now that I've been down there and I've made a lot of contacts within the community without donated material, the biggest thing I see is the water truck. It's on its last leg. Now, Todd asked me to look into overhead sprinklers, which I have been doing, which is doable. I've gotten it all the way down to the specific sprinkler, because the ones I did pick, I talked to somebody and they said after 1 year those sprinklers started to leak, which is a problem. So then I found another arena who had swapped their sprinklers out, and they're actually in Elk Grove. So I had to call into that individual who markets the sprinklers. So I was putting that together for Todd. That would be a big help. As far as general cost to bring the arena up to speed. A snack shack would be amazing. I don't know if we could get one in there on wheels, but that would bring a lot of people up.
Have you talked to some of the food trucks? I mean, even the taco wagon?
I did. They came down. I didn't have enough people early enough, so they left.
Okay.
Yes, I talked to both taco trucks. Both came down. The first truck that came down was upset that I didn't have the turnout, so he left. And then the second truck came rather early before people got there and he had breakfast. And he wanted to leave to see if he could go sell the breakfast food that he had purchased to come to the event.
What about the taco trailer?
Where's the taco? There's 3?
There's one right here in town.
Yeah, there's 2. There's one by the Chevron and there's that one.
Both.
Yeah.
Those are.
Oh, those are the ones you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So I would welcome them back.
Are you there every day?
I'm usually there Tuesday. Our events are Wednesday night.
Okay.
So I'm there Tuesday looking around to see if anything's popped up. Wednesday I'm there early in the morning till 11 o'clock at night, and then I'm back on Thursday cleaning up and looking around.
So you're there tomorrow?
I just canceled it because of the heat.
Okay.
It's just too warm.
I'm the new guy on the block.
Oh,
so
you are, that's right.
Yeah, I don't know
Sorry.
about any deals that have been made with anybody, you know. I read your proposal.
There hasn't been one.
Oh, good.
There are no deals.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I read this one.
That's it. her
Oh, the
proposal.
addendum.
Proposal, yeah, the addendum. I read that and I liked it. The only thing I saw in there was that you're specifically targeting certain types of events, which sounds like a great idea.
Only because of
The
footing.
ground, because of footing.
Footing.
Right, I read that exclusively, yeah.
Yes. I have just not seen in my years an arena be successful in 2 disciplines.
What would that do as far as conflict with those that
So
don't like that idea?
English versus Western?
Yeah,
Well, use Rancho Murrieta, for example. They have 5 arenas, and they
Sure.
have 5 arenas for a reason.
so we can go down there.
They can't afford to go down there. It's a different price range.
Yes. Each arena has a different discipline, and Brookside does the same thing.
Okay,
Reining, English, jumping, they're all in different footing because horses move differently. A barrel horse is going to use the ground deep down that they want people to pack.
sure.
A jumper wants some cushion, so with jumping, they'll usually throw crushed up tires or shavings or pieces of mattress into the ground to give it some cushion.
Like they have the playground there at the park.
Oh, I haven't been to the playground. Too old.
So there
So
hasn't
that
been-
would be my concern.
Okay.
Safety.
Well, I've been around rodeo when I was a kid a lot.
Okay.
So I'm kind of pro that area. I like it. If you had bull riding, that would be just fantastic. I would
Well,
love to see that.
they do still bull ride
Yeah, I
and senior
know.
rodeo. And you know, the CCPRA is having their finals in Clements. There's no reason why they shouldn't be in Ione.
Well, I also read in here too that we're the only one that have a covered
You are.
arena.
The furthest one is Lincoln.
Yeah, that's,
Well, girls will drive there.
wow.
They will. They will drive to a covered arena in the summer and the winter.
I guess I would need to see some finances on what these people that use the arena are being charged. I have no, is there some sort of record on that, or do you keep track of that? How's that done?
Yeah, there are fees associated with that. Again, what tonight is, in terms of what Allison is requesting, is reconsideration in terms of the proposal. And I'll be the first to say, you know, when I first met with Allison and read through and talked to her, I was really excited about this is a good opportunity for the city. And there's no secret, after the interview process, you know, walking Allison out, I asked her if everything was okay, because the person who gave the interview was not the same person that I've met with. And I do appreciate her coming back, because, like I said, I thought it was a good fit. We did interview both, and I understand Allison's reasons for not being on in terms of the interview. So, you know, I appreciate what she's saying tonight, because that's the enthusiasm and the knowledge that she portrayed in our one-on-one meetings. And like I said, from a staff standpoint, yes, we would ask the Parks Commission to reconsider and allow me to move forward and work with Allison.
I make a motion to that right now. Are we,
We haven't opened public comment yet.
oh, great.
Just a couple questions. So what, up till now, just because again, I am not as familiar with the horse arena aspects of our city as I'd like to be, but do we do different events with different footings right now? No? Is it all the same, pretty much? Okay. Lori used to be on our commission, and so that's why I look at her when I'm asking these questions, because I know that she has a lot of knowledge in that
She does.
that arena, so,
We've met, right?
yeah.
Down there? Yes.
There are groups that will work the soil to how they want it, but in terms of the sand, the material that's there, it's all the same sand. Some will work it up for, I'll call it a more fluffy, is that the proper term?
Yeah, it just depends on how you use the drag implement.
So,
It's got hydraulics, you can raise the teeth, you can pack it down in the water, it's a formula.
So we're not going to have a local community cry out for people who use the arena that are locals that are going to say, oh, we can't.
In my experience, I've been down there and I make a point of asking the people that are riding around, what do you think? What do you think of the ground today? We were here last night and all the feedback has been
Positive.
Do people just come down and just, like, they bring the horses down and they
They
go
bring their
around, ride
horses
around?
down, and I've been flashing videos on social media the next morning after I clean up and leave and say, well, you want to come down because it's sweet.
So it's used as a park type of arrangement, is that?
It's used as a park. There's open
There's a
riding.
daily
You
riding
can
fee.
you can do the daily riding, and then you can rent the facilities for a half a day or a whole day.
Okay. Is there like a,
Yeah,
a way to pay the riding fee? Is there like a bucket?
Yeah, there's a box out there that you can.
I'm gonna have to go over there and look at it.
There's an Iron Ranger up to this point, and from our last feedback, it was costing the city, what, $24,000 to $30,000 was our rough estimate after people paid. Is that, if I recall, the arena?
I'm drawing a blank on that one. in
So
terms-
the cost to the city after people, total year, say we brought in 24,000 or whatever, that was the dollars brought in, but there was a cost to the city for Todd and
Oh, okay.
every electric, like our total cost
Right.
annually is roughly $30,000, correct?
Something like that, yes.
Yeah,
I
we're not-
can't swear on that number, but
Because we have the loan on it, we have the other
Right,
things, and
right.
so we're looking at a way to at least break even and keep the community.
part of it is too.
To
I mean,
earn.
there is a facility out there that can be more than what it is.
Yes,
The issue is,
that's what I'm trying to get across.
yeah, is the horse world is its own unique.
Oh, I know, I have those clients, I understand them, yeah. They make no money.
Well,
None.
but I'll
You
say
just spend
from our standpoint,
farmers.
in terms of this is what we do as a city. Running a horse arena, we don't have that level of horsemanship expertise. So like I said, part of the reason for having somebody to look at this is, again, to work the rodeos, to work on those equestrian events that could bring people here, because we just simply do not have the time or the expertise.
Well, we have the history, I mean, the town has a history of horsemen, of racing, of that whole
Which is
gamut.
why I think I could get funding to rehab that barn.
Okay.
But
Are you a nonprofit, or how are you?
I do have a nonprofit.
Okay.
It started with barrel racing as a fundraiser. It's called the Great Race Foundation. We do bone barrel drives. It's for blood
Sure.
and the barrel racing sort of fell underneath it, simply to fund more bone marrow drives.
Sure.
But for something, if we could find out if the barn is a historical landmark, I've been trying to research it, because if it is, there's a possibility we could write in for a grant. But I can't find out. I would love to find out the history, just from the time before it was donated to the city. That would be great.
Do you not know that history?
About the barn?
Yeah.
Just the land. It's pretty good. Stacy knows it.
He's better than I do.
Where's Mr. Howard when you need him, you know?
Where was the drag from?
He died too soon. I saw the movie.
I don't know about the barn. I'm guessing did Bonham build the barn?
No, it was dragged here from Gulf or something. It was a barn that someplace else was
It
getting
came
rid
from
of. And it
somewhere.
was dismantled and brought here.
I know Evelyn Bishop was. I didn't know the horse
Yeah, the
barn.
barn was this
Horse
one.
barn.
Don't know.
It was built here.
We have, someone in the back
I'll
has
open the
a
public comment, sorry, and just,
very good idea.
are we,
Don't know.
are there any more questions from you guys for Allison at the moment? For the commission? No? Okay. Any questions for us at the moment? Okay,
I appreciate you letting me come back.
no,
I
thank you.
really do.
Thank you. John, you guys have?
Can I stay?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Okay.
Please.
This is open door, not closed.
By law. Public comment.
Hi, you had to know I'd get up and say a little something. I'm not sure if we've met Allison, but I think we've probably powwow a little bit, and I can share with you what I know, the history of things, and blah, blah, blah. I don't know, but make sure I have a business card if you would. Unfortunately, I haven't seen this before a few minutes ago, so, but I did read some months ago, there was a couple of proposals out, both of them
That's
were,
that one.
forget about it, they were completely not doable. Based on what that information was at that time, I don't know if one of those was yours at the time. You know, the living there and this and that, you know, we have had a successful group run that arena before, not that long ago. Unfortunately, it didn't work out ultimately, but what they actually did was good, so I can share some of that with you. The barn, I have
Lori, you need to
I have
speak
already
into the mic.
presented, I have already presented the city before with a complete barn management thing. I did not have the bandwidth to do the arena, but I do have a way to get the barn back up and running. But at this point, because it's gone so far, you're just talking about man hours and materials, and it would cost a little bit of money to get that back together. You all know that I built, me and my husband and one other gentleman built the original turnout out there. Cows got loose one year, a couple of years later, wrecked the whole thing, and I came back there, put it all together, and again, put together something to get the barn running, and it just all kind of, other things happened, but I guess my questions right now are, but I guess I'd like to ask Angie one thing. What did you mean by get that arena up and running?
As far as how much money would she basically would need to get it really up and running and bringing in the shows? Like she's talking about what improvements do we need? And she said that a water truck would be very helpful. I'm not sure what other improvements we need as a whole to get that arena.
Well, my thought was because it is up and running, so I didn't know. I just was gonna ask you to
Other little
expand
things.
on
I
that
know
thought,
that
yeah.
even when you were on the commission, we would talk about the dirt, and I think she kind
The
of,
footing.
yeah, the footing.
Yeah.
That obviously I can remember was an issue.
I just didn't know if you meant something specific.
You know, well, for one thing, the water truck, that's kind of a
The
big.
question I have is just, I think we kind of briefly, it's just how much money a year does it take to make the just self-sufficient as is, let alone any kind of improvements?
That's what I was getting at when I was.
Well, there's a few, and I'm sure Allison has mentioned, there's a few infrastructure things that you need to have to run an arena that keeps the riders coming back. That's how you make your money. And then word gets out. If the footing's always good, if there's a clean place to go to the bathroom, a place to warm up your horse.
Build it and they will come,
You're pretty
right?
good.
A place to
Yeah.
eat, something.
Well, but you know, if there's food there during an event, of course, that's always
Yeah,
good.
helps
But,
too.
you know, as to some of the comments that you made, oversight has always been the issue here. There's never been management of that thing except for brief periods of time. So, you know, there needs to be a barn manager. You can't run that barn without a manager. So my question about this, because I haven't had a chance to read it, is what is the city's goal with this? I mean, I know kinda, just to have, to not have to worry about it and have a steady income. Is that pretty simply what's?
More or less.
Okay.
Again, we go back to, and again, the statement that was made earlier, is we think the barn, the arena can be more than what it is. We do not have the expertise. We'd like to see revenue be made, but, you know, do I think it's a big moneymaker? Probably not. But again, it serves a specific market niche. I don't have the expertise to identify that market niche or the time to go into that. That's kind of what we're looking for, is somebody who is in the horse culture, that understands needs of the riders, because, you know, somebody talks to me about footing, I'm sorry, all over my head, that's, and again, I mean, so, like I said, I mean, I'm not necessarily looking at this as a moneymaker. What I'm looking at is there's an amenity out there. There's an amenity that's being used for the most part by a lot of people from outside the city. And again, you go back to, it's covered, it has some attributes there that, you know, it can do better than what it is. But we don't have, on staff, we don't have that expertise to accomplish that. That I think has always been the problem is, you know, it has to be horse people who know the culture, who know all that. That's just not us.
Well, John, I guess I'm glad to see that you're, you know, I mean, you've been thinking about this off and on for a couple of years now, and I think you better understand the financial picture. At one time, the goal was to have the arena produce a set, you know, figure every month so the city could count on something, because there are costs to the city. You know, I don't know if $10 an hour covers lights if they're on, you know, that even small things like that. So, but revenue neutral would be great if you could provide a great venue and be able to be even revenue neutral. I mean, all the way revenue neutral.
That would be a great short-term
that would be
goal
the
right
best.
there, is to have it operating in the black. And then
that would be
something
even
that
better.
is a destination for most communities.
So this is where, just to plant the seed, I don't know, the biggest thing, I know her for just a few minutes here, that Ms. Lefane said that she brings to the party is that she's done this before. That's pretty impressive. So, you know, I think that's great. Is if you can get that barn operational, that's where the city can make money.
Yeah.
Lori, has there been a horse association in Ione?
Not for a long, long time. And you know, if you really want the history of things, Dan, talk to Dolores. She can tell you,
Okay.
like, from
All right.
And
when there was a big association where the whole community would go to Howard Park and pick rocks out of the arena before an event, where everybody was there all day, and it was, you know, really. But I mean, society is moving. You know, some of those things have changed.
Okay.
But, so then my question then, if I guess my other question is, John, maybe you can, because you read this, what is Ms. Lefane's goal? It's got to be monetary.
Yeah, there's monetary there, but it also, again, part of it is, again, I won't dismiss the monetary component, but part of it is to, again, help establish, create something that is going to be a positive for the community which she now lives in.
For the community, not necessarily for the outside. I mean, I know you need to bring that in financially, but I still don't want the city of Ione taxpayers that, you know, that's something that they've wanted here for a long time, and they work on it, they fight for it, and I just hope it doesn't become something not for them, but for other people.
Well, it's for users. I mean, wherever the users come from. You know, when we do the harvest fair, you know, I will put ads out there so that I can get pumpkins from, I don't care where they come from. I just want to have big pumpkins because that's the draw, right?
No, I get it, but I want the arena to still be user-friendly for the community.
Sure.
Is my...
It has other uses,
yes.
absolutely. You know,
yes.
There's been times past where we flattened it out and did a big yard sale in the arena. So, I mean, you know, I don't know if it...
And there's been times when I had flat track motorcycle people wanting to use it, and I said no. I mean, so like, well, but like I said, it was, you know, the group from Stockton wanted to use it, and I was like, no, get for it. No,
I do have some thoughts on
you gotta.
But anyway,
speak
you're not making a decision tonight, you're just reconsidering stuff. I would like to, on a side note, meet with Ms. Lefane and talk to her about what I know and what I've seen and happened, and you guys have all heard it a million
I
times.
think that would be...
To make the best out of it. I mean, I appreciate that she went away, kind of looked at it and was all excited. You get caught in the ether and you go, you know, but then you stop back and go, wait a minute, you might be biting off more than I can chew. And then she went back, thought about it, and has come forward again. That's a real good sign.
What would be requested tonight is a motion to work with Ms. Lefane a little bit more to solidify her proposal.
Okay.
Well, before there was somebody wanted to live out there, has that changed?
Well, that was a different
yeah.
proposal.
Okay, I'm sorry, I thought they were.
That's public space.
No, she has moved in elsewhere, not on the property. She lives local, Allison.
Okay,
Mhm.
what is it right behind you?
Wildflower, right?
Very good.
Yeah.
So the only other thing that's a big deal is when you're discussing this, John, is there has to be eyes on it all the time to keep honest people honest.
Oh,
With the dumping of poo. I didn't notice, I've never noticed that to be a big deal, but I would encourage you again, if you go right now over to the staging area at South Lake Comanche, there's just 2 nice 3-sided boxes. Everybody puts their poo in it. I mean, you never go there and find poo all over the place. People do not empty out. It's, you know, if it's clean, it'll stay clean.
Yeah.
So, you know, and then once a month or once every couple months, the tractor comes, swoops it up, puts it in your ACES box and all. But the boxes makes a big deal, and people are used to that. You know, seeing the poop in the boxes. So I'm sure I'll have other comments. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Still public comment? No more public comment? Allison, did you want to say something again?
No, we're
Okay.
good.
All right.
We've had enough food talk.
Right.
Goodbye.
Okay, so anyone want to make a motion?
I will continue to make a motion that we accept her proposal.
Well, I'm not ready to accept it, but
Or
to
to move
continue
forward to
with
continue with
discussion.
discussions about the acceptance of her proposal.
That's right.
How's that sound?
that's better.
Okay.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I like to bang the gavel today.
Oh, of course.
Okay. So, Parks Commission ordinance update.
Yes, Commissioner, this is to give you, just to let you know that the Ione City Council will be having the first reading on the Parks Commission ordinance update at their August 6th meeting. If you remember, the ordinance basically changes the membership to all members of the Parks Commission need to reside within the city of Ione. Instead of it was 3 out of the 5 need to reside in terms of the current ordinance.
I must have missed that meeting. I don't recall that.
Yes, that was last month. You
Last
were
month.
Missing?
missing.
You may.
First time in 7 years. Let me look. I got it.
Been on this for 7 years.
I've been on here for a long time. So they're going to visit that on the 6th.
Yes,
Is that just our update? Okay.
yes.
Were we having a problem? Is that why it was brought to the attention?
We weren't having a problem, but as we were looking at the ordinance, again, I mean, you go, it's the City of Ione's Park and Recreation Commission, so all the members should be coming from the City of Ione.
Yeah.
I think we all do, but currently you don't have to live within
Oh,
the
okay.
city,
Yeah.
the city limits.
Okay.
So theoretically, somebody could come in from anywhere outside of the county and act not on the city best interest.
Mr. Frazier, he lived out in the city limits.
But he had our best heart.
Sure.
He had our best
So,
heart.
absolutely.
That would be an extreme
Yeah.
circumstance, but now that we're getting more involved with county entities, that's a possibility.
Yeah. Okay. Public comment on,
Aren't you afraid you might miss out on somebody like a Fraser West just because they live outside the city?
those were my thoughts, and especially when it comes to things like an arena, a lot of those people have property, a lot of those people they're still part of our community, but I mean, even that wouldn't allow Comanche people who utilize this world just as much as we do. Well, they all go to our schools, the kids are here all the time. I mean, just FYI on that part of the ordinance that,
Well, maybe there needs to be is there a way to put a terminology that says, in special cases, you know, where you come across a commissioner that really would be really good to have on there, and like you said, lives on a 5-acre place outside the city.
yeah, like, I don't know if there is a verbiage you could add in there that says, I don't know if it's a true community member, they deserve a voice, but I get what you're saying. I don't know. I don't know how, I'm not an attorney. I don't know how to word that.
Don't look at me, I'm not an attorney.
I know.
There's no holiday in there either.
No, but I mean, like, without Fraser on the committee for years, I think we would have been lacking a little bit more. You had so much history and knowledge of what our city is, and a lot of your inside city limit people aren't necessarily what everyone would say is local Ione. I mean, some of your old town guys are all outside of the city limits now on property and land, and
It was Spear Influence, and like the Bonhams that did 90% of the work out there. Didn't live in
Yeah.
Ione.
yeah, that's
So
so.
that's
Do you
why
see my?
I-
Yeah, I'm not sure how to
Are you asking for like an addendum to be added onto this ordinance, if it would be possible?
Maybe something that stated, if you have a unanimous vote from council to approve a community member that's, I don't know, within 20 miles, 10 miles, 15, whatever the mileage would be outside of city limits, not just so that you're Jackson or Sutter Creek, but someone who is in the Ione sphere of influence is for sure. I mean,
That makes sense.
I just don't know how to
Why is that important?
well, because a lot of people who utilize our city, and they don't necessarily, the city of Ione itself is not that large. You have a big sphere right outside of it. Like, for example, Comanche, I know some people don't see it, but as far as schools go, half of our schools are from
Having
Comanche.
just moved from Comanche, most people from Comanche identify with Ione more than they
Well,
do
and it's their
any other part of
address.
the county.
Yeah, but it's not.
And the same thing
considered
going out Highway 16 till you get to the county line. So I think something more along our like supervisor, or not, our supervisory districts would probably be, in my opinion, more appropriate than just locking it down to the city limits. I think it's something to consider.
or mileage issue, like, I don't know. When you guys discuss it, that's what I'd like to hear brought up though too, like a sphere of influence outside of the actual city limits. Can council be outside of city limits?
No.
No.
Okay.
People can be on associations that live on outside the city limits. If they
For
want to
sure.
get involved, they can get involved in an association. I
Yeah.
don't see why they need to be on a board. It needs to be, in my opinion, only.
Yeah, but I don't know. Just because I worked with Fraser on this committee for so long that I respected his opinions on a lot of what we did, and we wouldn't have had him if we had that ordinance in place. So
Where is this guy now?
he's
Okay.
he's no longer with us. But he had been. In
I'm the new
Ione.
guy, I don't know.
No, but he lived in Ione for many years, and he knew a lot about our community and what a lot of our community wanted, and so he was a great member of our group. But public comment.
Perhaps leave the ordinance as is and leave it to the discretion of the mayor who appoints the committee members. In many cases, there have been empty seats,
I know.
and you'd hate to leave the seat empty just because they live outside the city but in the sphere of influence. If there are too many candidates, the mayor can simply pick those that live within the city limits. So I don't think changing the ordinance is the best way to go to address all of your concerns.
Yeah. Good suggestion, Jim. It's hot in here.
Air conditioner doesn't work on this side.
It's hotter outside.
For over 40, or longer than that, probably since the beginning of the park, there used to be a parks commission, not a commission, it was a park group of people, and the first city manager made you guys park commission. It used to be everybody from the area ran the park. They had their own association. You used to tell the city what they're going to do to it, and people don't understand that. And you got people like Andy, the Bonhams, even here, he had his cat out there, he had a uke out there, had his loader, donated all his time.
Yeah.
The Senies put the soccer field in, which is in Plymouth, and people, just bugs me that people put him down because they said he had a sewer in backwards. He didn't put no sewer in backwards, but here he had scrapers in there. He brought scrapers. I got the state grader. I use a state grader, got permission to use it. There's a lot of people outside this area donated. You wouldn't have the soccer fields if it wasn't for them people. There's 2 people on that. They live clean over Plymouth.
Yeah.
That helped get the soccer fields in there. This wasn't, the city didn't pay 1 dime for it. Thank you.
Thanks, Larry. Anyway, just food for thought for the ordinance. Just thank you for the update, John. Anything else on the ordinance? Okay. Tennis court update?
Yes, attended the last ACRA meeting, and they did not have a quorum, so they could not formally take any action.
Okay.
However, in terms of the discussion with the commissioners one-on-one afterwards, in terms of, I think there's a lot of support for it. I know that the county is very much trying to get the money spent out of the old impact fee fund, so that they're looking at projects. This is one that has support. The Ione City Council, this is a priority for them. I believe Shane Alderson sent you all an email related to supporting why this would be a good idea. The ACRA Commission meets again in August, and I will be there to make the pitch again.
What is it, the second Wednesday?
I believe so, yes.
It's on the website though, right?
Yeah, yeah. And then it'll be forwarded to the Amador County Board of Supervisors. But like I said, in terms of laying out the reasons why this project makes a lot of sense. We've identified, you know, the possible location up by Evelyn Bishop Hall. And like I said, we're moving forward with the attempt to get the county to help with the funding.
Do you think having more community support attend that meeting would be helpful, or no?
It doesn't hurt. I mean, I'll always say that, you know, it's always good to have positive feedback, positive comments. But from the, like I said, the one-on-one discussions with the ACRA board members who was there, I don't see an objection.
Okay. Only because if you put it on Neighborhood Ione, you have a lot of people that would be interested in attending the meeting and showing support.
It's already there. I mean, there was a big discussion on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't read it every day. It gets negative. So
One guy said there's no bike place tennis in Ione, and then he really got slammed.
Gotcha. Okay.
Is that plot the one that's been scraped below the parking?
No, that's the site that we're talking.
I know, I got the map. Yeah.
Okay. There'll need to be some trees removed.
But it's lower than where that scrape spot is right now.
No, it's up higher than where that scrape.
Oh, it's up
spot
higher.
is.
Okay.
It's up higher where that scrape spot is.
Okay.
Like behind the horseshoe pits?
No, it's basically to the south of Evelyn Bishop Hall on the corner. Yeah.
Yeah.
In the trees.
Yeah, and it's pretty close to that general area.
Just the point again, please. Okay. All right.
Did you get this? Did you get also?
I don't know if I got the most recent one, but
That was last minute.
yeah, no, I didn't. So I'll print it. I have the agenda. Okay.
I've talked to several people in the community, and they're just excited.
I would love to see it be tennis and pickleball, to be honest with you, if you can do the stripes. I mean, it's a matter of striping. So.
They like the basketball idea.
And there's basketball on the side, so it'll be multi-type purpose. But again, with pickleball, yes, it can be striped. In terms of the proposal, no, it wasn't discussed because pickleball is not in our analysis impact fees. But like I said, basketball courts and tennis courts are. You get those funded, and then you can restripe for pickleball.
I'll raise the money for striping for pickleball. It really is becoming bigger and bigger every time I talk to anybody who gets older.
So, like I said, tennis courts easily used for pickleball. It's just a different striping pattern that, again, there's tape ready to go.
Yeah.
Not a big issue.
Okay. Okay, public comment? Sorry, do you guys have anything? Sorry, Lori.
I mostly have just some questions because I didn't know you guys were talking about tennis courts. So this is an ACRA project?
To get them
So
to.
Ione is not out of pocket on this one, John?
No, Ione will be out of pocket, but there is a split. So ballpark estimate for the tennis/basketball courts is about 200,000. We're hoping to get about 50,000, 51,000 from from the county's impact fees.
I'm sorry, the whole cost is 200,000?
Yes, it's about 100,000 per court.
So 2 courts? Split with the...
And that's with the basketball estimate as well.
Correct.
But that doesn't include maintenance.
No, this is just construction cost.
And are we still talking about basketball?
It would be part of these same courts.
Just be on the sides.
So, and you know, if I've got the location right, there's 2 dirt drive paths, one on either side of it. Who's gonna keep the dust off the court? Who's gonna maintain the court? I'm having a hard time emptying dog poop things sometimes. And this is what, it's always come back in Ione, John, it's always been a problem, it's not picking on anybody. Is who maintains things? So
Well,
who's gonna maintain the tennis
But
courts?
part of the thing, I mean, the city would have to maintain the tennis courts. That goes without saying. Until there is a countywide park and recs district that has a maintenance operation, it's going to still be the city. Part of the parking lot area is going to have to be paved. Because again, you start getting into ADA, you start getting into all those, you're going to need to have a paved parking lot.
Is there gonna be any cost to users?
I don't know, but I would love to see it set up like Dieter, where you have to get a code, where you can't just go in, you have to go to the city and you have a code. Like they have, it's locked up most of the time, but the city provides the code if you call them.
And I'm gonna say, I'm not that far yet, I'm just
Yeah.
trying to get the funding.
Just get it funded, yeah. But it's kind of a protection thing so it's not destroyed. That's why
Well,
they.
the only comment I've ever heard about local courts is Comanche, that they're almost always empty. So do we have any statistics on
Well,
really,
there's no nets down
truly
in
how
Comanche.
popular?
Comanche has no tennis nets
Okay,
anyway.
Dieter, is it popular?
Dieter's used all the time. Yeah, there's
I'm not
actually,
familiar.
as far as even just kids go, this is without adults. There are several tennis teams locally. Both Amador and Argonaut have them, and then they have youth tennis. And so they do a lot of tournaments all over. And when my son played, we'd have to travel, obviously, and all of our practices were at Dieter.
Okay, so so would you be wanting to bring those kind of things here?
I would love to see
So
those
then-
kind of things
So
here.
then grandstands, seats would eventually have to be installed and all that, so just bear in mind.
Most of them don't have seats, just even
People
as of
just
now.
stand
Like
around.
Dieter does not have seats because
Okay.
the baseball fields are on the other side. There are bleachers there, but they face the wrong way.
So it's just the courts, and if there's viewers, they just stand alongside?
At this point,
That's fine, okay.
yeah, and Argonaut's similar, Amador's a bit better set up. Just, I mean, but they're high schools, they have different funding sources than our parks too, so, you know.
Are you going to do any sort of a local survey to find out about are your city people going to use it enough to warrant the expense? Now guessing, do you?
No, I have not done a survey, and I didn't
just
think,
wondered.
so between basketball, tennis courts, pickleball, I wouldn't see a need for a survey. You've been on Parks and Rec, people are begging for basketball courts locally, and they have been for 10 years, because we don't have any.
I don't hear them begging for tennis.
Oh, well, but if it's part of one unit,
Court, okay.
yeah,
If you can get multi-use.
so that's the point. It would be a multi-use
Lori,
situation.
there is 90 youth in the tennis program right now that are using the other courts, not using any court down here in Ione. There's no place to play. And these kids go to Argonaut, these kids go to Amador, and they're from Ione. It's not a matter of coming down, they already live here.
Practice.
Yeah. And I see a ton of adult use as well. I really would. Hey, pickleball they're using as an Alzheimer's bite to battle. No, it is. It's one of those things they're using to battle Alzheimer's. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I'd like to, how come they're not using junior elementary? It's got a tennis court, how come they ain't using that?
Because it's destroyed and the school won't do it.
There's no,
Destroyed.
Have you been in there?
Destroyed tennis court, seemingly.
But it's not marked anymore. The concrete's all split up,
degenerated.
and
Have you
there's
been over
there's no nets on it. It's all weeds. It has not been maintained in years. We've looked at it because we used to do our practices for Ione up at Dieter. Remember when
I'm gonna say it was one of the best tennis courts when I was in high
and
school.
you know what's unfortunate
that was
about
a couple
that?
of years ago though, right?
What's unfortunate about that though is it's now under the school district's regulations, not ours. We don't have any. We can't maintain it.
They took our high school and just let it go to decay and nobody says it.
There's been plenty said. We went into an agreement. I wasn't part of the world then. Well, I mean, I think I was born.
So there's no refurbing that? And even if-
It's not our option, it's the school.
It
belongs to
also,
school.
You'd have like the pool issue. would be-
Go on the
If we
school
would,
district website.
exactly. If we even wanted to touch upon it, it would be like the pool thing. We have to do the insurance, and that would be, the district at this point, I think, would say no. But,
Plus the fact that you cannot repair without certified repair people, certified by the state of California,
well, and the school district's worse.
and the school district doesn't have the money to do it.
Yeah,
They don't have the money to even fix the leaks at the elementary school, so,
believe me, I know.
yeah. Sorry.
No, I really, really do
Look at me
know.
now. Sorry about that.
But that's why we don't use the one at the junior high anymore. Anyway. Any more public comments? Commission? Okay. I will try to make that meeting. It's the first day of school, so we'll see what happens. Portable track option for eventual moving of Iron Ivan to Train Park. I don't know what that means.
I've made some telephone calls, and tried to get a hold of the people up in Jackson. They don't return calls because they probably know I'm from Ione, they don't like me. So I called the California State Railroad Museum and talked to Al DiPaolo. Al is the shop manager for the train depot in Sacramento. And he said, what are you trying to move, Iron Ivan? I said, yes. He said, well, the best way to move it is with a lowboy. He said, a crane and a lowboy, and put it on it and move it. He said, that's the only way to do it. And he and his wife are coming up here, I think either this weekend or next weekend, because I'm going to talk to him again on the 5th, to look at it and see the possibilities. And he's going to look and also see where it's going to be moved to. And he's going to call me back, and we're going to talk on that week and get an idea of who's got a lowboy, how much it would cost to do it. But he said it hasn't been moved since you were in grade school. Just before. And it probably won't move anyway. So moving it on a lowboy trailer would be the best way to do it. So I'll be
Would
talking.
there be any damage done to it? Like, is that what you guys are going to kind of discuss?
That's what
See
he's,
what kind
yeah,
of condition?
that's what he's gonna look at. I told him to come on after Wednesday so he and his wife can have dinner at the hotel. He didn't even know that was even open, so I'm selling things. So he and his wife will come up. We'll get a discussion after the 5th, and we'll talk about it and see what it would cost and what it would do and what it takes to do it, move it. But he said, you don't want to do it on tracks. Even if you haven't, it's too far.
Okay.
So I've been doing a lot of research on it.
I'd like to bring up something about the train depot. Is the fence repaired yet, John? Do you know the gate?
Is the gate repaired?
Is the gate still?
The back gate, yeah, we could get a train in the back.
No, is the gate repaired or is it still broke open so kids could break in?
Crawl through the bottom.
It's still, the post has been, yeah,
So it still needs to be fixed?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, school starts on the 14th. We might want to.
I know.
Would that train go on the track, or would it go on a separate pad? I don't know. Track?
There's a track there.
Yeah, thanks.
So, in front of the locomotive that's sitting there right now.
Right.
There's track there. We could probably clean it to put it in. There's probably room for, to get it in. Might have to move the other train back, drag it. I don't know if it's been moved in a while, but I imagine it would roll.
Now, would we need to put the cover that's on it, bring that over there and put it over the top of it again, or would that?
No, the cover would stay, that building?
Yeah.
That would stay here.
Stay?
You'd have to tear it down and put a crane's gonna pick it up. You're gonna
Yeah, you have to tear the building out.
down.
The building's gonna go,
It's gonna
right?
have to. They actually hardly drug it on Global. That's how it got her.
Drug it from,
Drug it from over to where the train depot is. That used to be the end of the track.
so it was down there originally?
Well, they drove it down here from up and down or
Okay,
mid slash
fine.
strip. And then, from what I heard, I wasn't here, I heard that they actually made laid the tracks up the roadway and actually pulled it on.
I'll pull it on the lowboy, okay.
And the only bad thing about that I'll bring up is that's got wood frame under it. So they gotta watch that. You start picking up, things might fall
It's
apart.
gonna fall
Right.
apart. That was my concern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I imagine your friend or person.
Yeah, the
he'll
person,
look at
yeah,
that. He knows that.
He runs the Sacramento Museum down there on all the trains, so he's the chief mechanic, so he should give us a better idea of what's.
But there
You have
probably
access to
is
get in
room
the gate?
enough for it down there.
Good question. I don't know.
I don't know who has access to get in that gate. Probably you.
City does, I know Jay Kerfel. Larry, do you have a key to that gate?
Huh?
The key to the gate?
Tyler and Ivan.
We had to put a new one on the front, something happened to it, but we got keys to the back gate and the
Okay.
other gate, yeah.
To this gate for Iron
Iron
Ivan?
Ivan.
No, I don't, we
Okay.
don't need anything to do with that one, nothing.
So the city has those?
Yeah, I would assume they're somewhere.
Okay. Well, if he comes up and look, and then he'll probably want to come up again and go through it and inspect it, so. And give us an idea what it would cost.
Okay. All right.
Any more public comment?
How soon do you guys want to move the train?
Within the hour? I know, I don't know.
This year, next year?
Well, first of all, you gotta figure out what it's gonna cost and where to get the money, and then you decide how soon you're gonna move the train.
Exactly where to put it,
Well, and
what
where
the
to
whole
put it.
plan
Right, but it
is.
sounds like we know Larry knows where they're gonna put it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, there is,
Yeah.
I'm certain there's room enough to put it in there.
Okay, cool.
I'd like to see that, like where, a layout of where you put Ivan on that.
Well, it would be temporary, because we don't got the track up to the truck, near the depot, that's way down.
It'd just be in front of the current engine that's there.
There you go.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what the
John,
current
do
engine
we-
is.
Well, I'm just wondering the cost if you move it now, and then if you have to rearrange it all, like, why wouldn't we do it all at one time? That's just my thoughts.
Would we have the funds if everything would work out to move it this year?
That I don't know. Like I said, we're just preliminary discussion, so
Yeah.
until we get some budgets, until we know, I can't give an answer.
I can probably get the trucking done for free as long as Busby don't park more cop cars there if we move it. That's the deal.
Well, Busby wants it for more cop cars and for parking, until we move Busby down to the tennis courts so we can watch those every day, right?
Okay, any more? Okay. Commission members, future reports, agenda items, I already have the dog park on there. I would say let's try and get that gate fixed over at, I just don't want damage done to it, and when junior high kids get in there, I'd like to see cameras out there, to be quite honest with you, because wasn't there some vandalism recently? Yeah,
$200, you can just put a ring up there.
They put some phony ones up the other day.
they did.
Peter did.
Are they clear vision, clear views?
No,
Are they
they're
just-
he just put dummies
Oh,
up.
phonies, gotcha.
Yeah, he
Okay.
had some.
But don't tell the public that. I mean,
That's not part of public comment.
I'll tell you, the people that are vandalizing won't watch this video.
Dan, are you gonna be able to update us in regards to, the findings
Yeah, as soon as,
the next?
he and I are gonna talk on, I have my notes on it looks like the 6th.
Our next meeting will be the 27th.
Right, and I'll probably have a lot of information by then, so Lucy give us an idea of what it would, what it would cost, and if, it sounds like a lowboy is not gonna cost us anything. Moving it is just gonna be manpower, or, I can't say manpower anymore, can I?
Rain's gonna cost us a little bit.
'Cause it's like saying manhole, you can't say that either.
We're not-
Woman power.
I would like to see on our next agenda, or our next item, if you have any budget money for us, any money for Parks and Rec. I know that you guys were working on the budget, but I know by August you'll have more. You probably know now, but you're not at liberty to tell me.
they'll adopt it.
Yeah, just,
Right.
yeah, just, I'd like to see that on our next, I will not be here in attendance, I'm in Pinehurst, but I will, be with you in spirit and pay attention to what happens. Okay? All right, any other future agenda items?
Arena?
Budget, arena, well, yeah, because you guys are doing, the commission's looking at it. Yes, you're moving forward on, not the commission. The city's gonna look at it to move forward with Allison.
Right.
To see, yeah.
That's what
Okay.
the motion.
That's our
Yeah.
recommendation.
So,
yeah.
an update on where that is. Thank you, Mary. Sorry, it's been a long day. Any more?
I'd like to see the commission bring back the supposed loan over the covered arena.
What the loan is?
Well, it's been my contention that the loan has been paid off, but it keeps coming back that you owe the money, and
We do owe the money.
the terms of that loan will directly impact the proposal that you got this evening. So I think you need to bring that back and square away how much, all of it,
And how to pay it.
has been paid back already.
Yeah. Okay.
Great idea.
And I'm curious, please, to find out what you're doing about the rest of the depot. You know, the volunteers are working on the building. There's a whole bunch of it rest to make it into a park, so I'd be curious to know what the plan is for that part.
Thanks, Lori. Not sure about that.
Well, there's a big issue with the roof.
Well, so in past meetings on the depot park, they're kind of two separate things right now, the park versus what we're doing with, and we have to put it in our nexus first, right, before we can actually,
And I'm going, this is agenda items, this is not on.
it probably won't be on the next.
But I'm saying, in terms of, we can put it on the next agenda, and we can't be sitting there talking about it now because it wasn't our agenda item. So again, it's
Yeah.
on the next agenda.
Okay, I get it. Okay. Future meeting, August 27th, 2019. We would move to adjourn? Move to adjourn. Okay, well, I move to adjourn the July 23rd Parks and Rec meeting.
I'll second. Get your hammer.
I'm like, move to adjourn. Thank you guys for coming.